Welcome to episode 197 of the Blue Recluse. My name is Martin Larsen, and you're listening to the podcast about everything Blizzard. It's Sunday, July the 22nd, 2018, and with me today, all the way from the Alliance, Tom Knight. How you doing?
For the Alliance, grab your pans, point them to the sky for the king. Yeah, we're getting closer.
Pants?
Sorry?
Did you say your pants?
No, your
Grab your
pan.
pants?
Your pans. Your
Oh.
pans.
Okay.
Hang on, let me show you what I mean. A pan. A simple
pan,
pan.
okay.
Point it to the sky for the king! Yes, we're just getting very excited because every week we do a new show. We're getting closer to Battle for Azeroth. And, you know, everyone's bustling with faction pride right now. Probably more than ever because we're about to, battle for Azeroth. Choose your side and choose carefully, very carefully.
Choose carefully, Michael, all the way from the Horde. How you doing?
I'm doing well, just reporting live over here from Teldrassil. Nothing suspicious going on at all. Just a few camping trips. There's a light breeze out.
Hot.
Slowly but surely, the sun is out. It's a blaze over here. It's a blaze.
I saw like shitloads of orcs with packets of marshmallows. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on there. There's speculation that they're gonna be.
I don't even think it's a faction war at all because I don't know how it is in your countries, but right now in Denmark there's been a drought for the past many months. It's been so hot. You're not allowed to use fire outdoor, like barbecuing and stuff like that. So I mean that's probably what's wrong right now in Azeroth.
What impact does that have on, does it just make the country even warmer if everyone was?
Yes.
It's Denmark. It's warm. Everybody's naked. Stuff like that.
What?
The things you learn on a Blizzard podcast.
See, in this country, they banned you from using your hose pipe to conserve water, but in Denmark, they've stopped people.
No one could ever ban me from using my hose pipe.
Okay. Is that when we're starting the show? I guess I started.
I'm just confused over this Danish rule, but I guess this is not the show. This is not the show to talk about that, but
no. But anyway, it's just a small spark, and stuff can go up in fire. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
All right.
keep your trees
Getting-
locked away.
Getting that out of the way. Let's start the show then.
I said something elusive. Stay a while and listen. Well met. You are not prepared. This better be good. Existence is mysterious.
Loud and clear. Hello there.
Greetings, traveler, and welcome to the Blue Recluse.
I never thought I was going to say this, but we are starting out this show with some Diablo news. How are you feeling about that, Michael?
I'm confused as to why you thought we'd never start a show off with Diablo news. Like, it's dead already? Like, is that what you assume?
I don't know. I remember back in the days when we started this podcast, I actually think we started out the first show with a lot of Diablo news because that was around the time when
Reaper of Souls.
what was it? Reaper of Souls hit the shelves. Oh, the good olden days. Don't listen to those episodes.
Let's just reenact those episodes right now. There's no.
I see a great future for Diablo 3 ahead. Just great expansion.
This expansion is setting up the next one so well. We can't wait for the next one to come out.
Those days.
What is the Diablo news? Just
yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Just by off chance.
Diablo 4 is coming out next week, yeah?
No.
Oh.
Actually, it's
Slow
that
down.
Diablo is actually getting a comic release. So it's gonna be like little, from what it says, with continuity.
Thank God it's not a live show.
Is it a live
That's
show?
some sort of demonic chant. The first issue, the Diablo blah 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 blah. is gonna be released.
Okay, well, the comics will follow, like, it's gonna follow a group of, like, zealous scholars and crusaders as they discover the true origins of humanity. And
Oh, that sounds deep. That
yes,
sounds really deep.
yes. So don't expect, like, you're gonna be following your barbarian hero through his adventures. No, it's more of, like, a comic series just kind of set within the Diablo universe. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot of information on it yet, but it's going to be probably pretty cool. I mean, Diablo lends itself pretty well to a darker tone, especially in comics, and I love that type of tone. So I'm looking forward to it.
Diablo is sort of like DC and all the other franchises are Marvel. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we can hope that Diablo will get a better reception than DC. But, okay, we're not going to get into this, but I have opinions on the DC Marvel war in the movie universe that are unpopular. So
that sounds like a really short discussion. So
yeah,
we don't even need to start on that right now.
It'll be a 2-minute wrap up.
I think the interesting thing about this announcement of comic books is why. Because is this just happening to fill that big empty void of Diablo, or is it going to
Leading
be
into something.
coinciding with potentially a Diablo announcement coming at BlizzCon? And
Are you telling us Blizzard is trying to slowly start up the hype train? Choo choo. We need a choo choo sound.
No, not that one, no.
That one's for you, Presley. I don't know where that came from.
Oh man.
Yeah, so, God, where do we go from there? No.
Down, just down.
End it. No, I think like obviously every year we're expecting some sort of Diablo news, and I think we know it's like the skeleton staff over there, Diablo at the minute, but something's happening. We think probably this year we might finally hear something, because World of Warcraft's gonna have Battle for Azeroth, Hearthstone. We know how that works. It feels like the right time for Diablo to make some sort of a comeback, and I think this is the year. I felt like when people were getting really excited last year, I thought, nah, it's just a bit too soon. But it's been 4.5 years since Reaper of Souls. That's right, isn't it? So
yeah, it's around when we started the podcast. So
yeah,
you're
a very long time. Very long time.
Well, I think that Selena
feel
in the
old
chat.
already.
I think that Selena in the chat is hyped for Diablo.
Oh,
Yeah.
100 hype.
looks like it.
100
Yeah,
hype.
100 hypes long.
not just one.
Not just
But
one,
100.
but 100.
That's very nice of you, Selena. Thank you for that. Because just to quickly segue back, we became Twitch affiliates this week. So
Woo!
there's people cheering. There's people cheering. There we go. Hey.
Oh, pop!
Joe.
Yeah, really great.
Awesome.
Everyone from the Warcraft universe is, well, except for that person, was happy. Yeah, so we're cheering here because we became affiliates, and we're cheering because maybe Diablo. Do you even think it's going to be Diablo 4, or do you think it's going to be something kind of different? Like, is it going to be?
When you say different, I mean some people could take different to mean like a few different things. So I don't think that it's going to be Diablo 4 in a title. I think it's going to be Diablo 4, but just
another class.
No, it's going to be Diablo 4, but not with the name Diablo 4, or at least I don't think so. I think it's going to be like Diablo and then have kind of like a title underneath, rather than like Diablo.
Revenge of Deckard Cain.
No, yeah, right. Like it's not gonna be Diablo 4 Return of Deckard. I think it'll be like Diablo.
Return of the D. Return of the D.
I don't know. I don't think that they'll put. It seems like that's a trend nowadays in like the gaming community. Is not necessarily to put the number right after it, but to kind of like reinvigorate it. Like God of War was like God of War instead of like God of War 4.
World of Warcraft, Battle for Azeroth.
World of Warcraft 6, Battle for Azeroth.
Unless we're talking about Stranger Things, they like putting the numbers for their new seasons. That's very 80s, very 80s. And 80s is back, so I don't know, Michael, maybe you're wrong. Maybe they are going to be embrace the number, because the bigger your number, the better you are.
Dang, and I just want to throw out the fact that Selena in the chat was saying exactly what I was saying, but she was on the delay from the mobile. So, great minds think alike occasionally.
I don't know. I really hope that they'll hire someone better to write the story, because after playing through the game again, I sort of like realized, okay, so you introduce all these characters and then you kill all of them off. Like, where you got introduced to Leia, who got killed off. We got reintroduced to Deckard Cain, who got killed off. We got introduced to Adria, who got killed off. And it's just everybody in that game is just was being killed off. So do you think it's also to kind of like make a clean slate and let's make something new going forward, or do you just think it was like
No, I think it just happened that way. Yeah, I think it just happened that way. I don't think that they thought that far in advance. We're like, we kind of need to go in a different direction. Let's kill everyone off. No, I don't think like that was the case.
What about Diablo Origins?
I mean, if you're trying to tie it in with the comics, and the comics have like the origins of humanity, then maybe we could have a prequel type deal where we actually see like the ancient Nephilim versus evil and angels and stuff like that, because we do know that like because we always hear about it where it's like, oh, the Nephilim of old, and it's like now you're just like a random Nephilim all alone, like you're the last of your kind. So it would be interesting to see a different version.
But not
of
in
it.
my game. In my game, we had 2 Nephilims.
Oh, well, my game lied to me then, because it told me I was the only one.
They always do
are
that.
you
They
the-
always
I'm
say
the one. I'm the one.
you're the one, or he's the one.
Wait a minute, but they told me I was the one. Only you
they
can
told me
stop
I
him.
But he took the blue pill, and he.
But I thwarted the Skeleton King. I did it, I swear.
Are we filling time here?
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, have you guys been playing Diablo lately? Have you actually touched the game? 'Cause
No.
I have.
I could touch it right now. I have my Diablo 3 Collector's Edition. I can't see the shot.
I like it.
It's somewhere behind me. No, I haven't played it. You're still like neck deep in Diablo, aren't you? With your couch
Yeah.
co-op.
Yeah,
Couch
my
cop.
girlfriend and I are playing couch co-op, and we recently hit level 70, and we've started to grind a little bit. I'm looking forward to see how much he's actually enjoying that compared to we're out of story. We played through the story, and now it's just like the grind.
It's time to use your imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
and-
where we
I
run
mean,
into.
there is the season's quest line, not quest lines, but quests you can do and stuff like that. So it's not like we're just running aimlessly around. But I mean, that's the part of the game that I enjoy a lot. To gear up, find those gear pieces, and figure out how to push stuff a little bit, like greater rifts and things like that. I'm looking forward to see if that's also something she will be enjoying or what.
Well, it seems like she's interested in stats and writing things down and seeing how things interact with each other.
Yeah, so maybe there's a potential there.
And catching new gear.
Catching gear, yeah, that's true. That's
A
true.
wild legendary appears. And
There is potential. I mean, right now she's a little bit annoyed because I'm a wizard and I'm doing like, I don't know, 400,000
Wizard Marty.
Oh yeah, she's a
400,000
barbarian, right?
damage. And she's a barbarian and she's only doing like 250 when you look at the stats. But then I showed her that, oh, well, remember that then you use the shout and then you use this ability and this cooldown, and then we took a look at the stats, and then she was actually fairly close to me when she started using all that, because that's the thing with the wizard. I don't have anything that I buff myself with doing combat, but I'm just like that.
You just
strong
have
all the
raw
time.
DPS.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm a glass cannon, so if she
raw,
weren't there, then it would,
untainted magic.
if she weren't there, then I would probably just boom dead, because she's taking the brunt of the damage.
So you guys have transitioned into adventures, right?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
So did you already get your Herodric set, like your first ones?
No.
No,
Not yet.
okay.
We're
So
wor-
you're
we're
still
working
working
on that.
towards it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you can also kind of put that in front of her. Like once you get this, then you'll change around your build a little bit depending on what set you get, and that will completely change like your DPS.
Yeah, exactly. And I also told her to maybe look up some guys and some bills on the internet just to see, because right now, oh, this feels good, so I'm running with this. But if we actually start, combining things in a proper way, then your DPS will go up as well. And I just know I've played Wizard a few times, so I sort of know what to go for. So I also think that's why my DPS is so much higher. But I have to admit, I also have been a little bit lucky with some of the drops and stuff from Kadala and things like that. So I think it's also just a question of gear, because I mean, if you don't have the gear, then
Yeah, unfortunately, Diablo is that way, where the gear in Diablo 3 dictates the style of play that you're going to play. So like your set will be built around a certain ability, whether you like it or not. I mean, you could obviously change it, but you have to get a little bit luckier with the drops, because you can't just you get one set right away pretty much in adventure mode, and then you have to work towards the different ones, then hope that they all drop. So
yeah,
that's the
but
only
anyway
thing.
Yeah, we're still having fun with it. So yeah, I didn't think that at this point I would get more life out of Diablo, but it's actually been really enjoyable to do. When you're just soloing stuff, you're actually playing together with others. Who would have thought that doing stuff with other people is fun?
Not me, because I don't do stuff with other people.
I gotta disagree. I don't think that.
If I could live my life solo, I would.
But you've definitely been giving Diablo your kind of Blizzard love chip, haven't you? You've just slid it across the table to that, because you haven't been on World of Warcraft for over 5 days, Marty. Over 5 days.
I know.
Wow.
You haven't been on World of Warcraft, and some might say you picked the right time to take some time off from Azeroth.
Why? What's going on in Azeroth? I thought everything was good and dandy. The Legion is killed. Everything is silent. Nothing is going on.
Turns out, when we killed the Legion, we killed my add-ons.
Yeah, it turns out the Legion weren't the biggest threat after all. It was patch 8.0.1. That was the big one, guys. We let down our guard, and then this patch came in, and boom, it's destroyed everything. Everything is broke, and now we know why it's called the Broken Shore.
I feel like, sorry. I think that was actually why we got that sound, right? So we can do that.
No, that was not planned. That was not planned. Don't tell people that.
No,
Hold on. So Marty, have you
yeah.
been in? Have you been in since the patch?
No, I actually have not. I haven't.
What is wrong?
Are you feeling okay? Do we need to fly over there, have an intervention?
You
I
go
think
back
so.
a few months ago, and I was on this big Warcraft break, and Marty was like submerged in Warcraft goop, and he was green head to toe, and now he's like not even touching it. He's just
It's like a bad breakup.
Even our good friend Gavin messaged me the other day when I was doing some Hearthstone, and he messaged me, "What the hell, man? What's going on? Are you guys feeling all right? Because you're playing Hearthstone and Tom is playing World of Warcraft. What's going on? I don't get it."
Oh my.
there's been a shift. I think there's been a shift in the universe, and we kind of switched over.
I just felt a disturbance in the force, as if hundreds of voices were speaking out all at once.
I got to the Houndmaster, the last boss in the Houndmaster, and just couldn't beat him.
We're not talking about Hearthstone right now. We're not
I
talking
know.
about Hearthstone.
I really hate that encounter. I've done it so many times. Anyway,
You know what? Speaking of kind of
Sorry.
dungeon runny stuff, don't ever like play dungeon run and then get to the final boss, and then you start that encounter, and then for some reason, a couple of turns in, you decide to get up from your computer and go and do something else, and then totally forget that you were in the middle of a battle. Then you come back a couple hours later to a disconnected screen on your computer screen, and you go, "Oh, hell." Then you log in, and you've been it's gone. Like, you can't get back into that final bout. You have to start all. I don't know.
Once I start playing a game, I don't stop until I turn the game off.
Yeah, usually that's what I do.
No,
but
the
for some
door, it
reason-
can answer itself. All right. I'm busy. All right, I'm busy.
So yeah, we had a Q&A
Mhm.
this week as well after the patch dropped, and there was a lot of sorry and a lot of apologies, and
Mm.
because I think one of the main things was kind of I can't even say it. It's that emotional. The stat squish that rolled in, and it's kind of messed up a lot of things with leveling and noticing some weird stuff happening at the end game as well. Especially, I noticed it in the Depths of Chromie, where the night before the patch, I'd nailed down 5 of the bosses, and I was getting ready to come back the next day. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting closer. I'm gonna get this polished up before Battle for Azeroth. And I went in the next day, and oh my goodness, I struggled to get one of them down. Chromie was just like a paper clip. She just getting destroyed, and I didn't know what was wrong. I was like, how have I got this bad overnight? What has changed? What? Oh yeah, that patch. So lots of changes, lots of funky stuff happening, and it's
So-
weird. I feel like the whole stat squish and the artifact power and how that's concluded, it makes you feel a bit empty after, like, you spent a whole expansion kind of grinding out this artifact power, grinding out your gear to get to a certain point, and then in a patch it's like, yeah, that's all gone now, and it's just all reset. And it just kind of makes like levels and everything just feel a bit pointless.
Then you can loot that dagger that's better, and then your artifact.
Just toss it away. But yeah, I'm at a weird, like, I obviously I'm enjoying being back, but I'm just feeling now, I'm like, do levels even matter anymore? Like, just that whole, oh, we're increasing the level cap. It's like, do we need to be doing that anymore? Because it seems a bit pointless the way we have to squish stuff at the end of expansions. Well, maybe not every expansion, but it looks like it's going to be a common thing, and how that can be better handled, that
They
it doesn't feel so weird.
Ian kind of touched on this in the Q&A, where not necessarily like removing the levels, but also squishing the level, as in like 120. He said he understands that it feels like to newer players it might be a little too much. Like, I have to go up how many levels before I can play with my friends? Like, 120 is a lot. So he says that the team has talked.
Isn't that why you can pay like a lot of dough and get a free boost? Well, it's not free, I guess, but get a boost.
But I guess the point of it is that you don't want to have to feel like your players like have to boost in order to play the game, and then also you have so much content before that boost that has been put into the game. You kind of want people to be able to see it, so they kind of want to, like, or if you're like me and you just are joining the game for the first time, you don't want to pay to get to max level because you have no idea what the hell you're doing. You want to actually play through and learn the game a little bit. So they did talk about how on the team they've talked about the level cap and a possible squish in the future where they bring the total leveling down. He said that also might help with some of the talents that have like a large gap in between, and it feels like you're not really gaining power throughout that time, that a level squish might help with that. One thing that also kind of was funny for me is he talked about how some of the things that are broken for really weird reasons. As in, there are people with accounts that have not logged in for, like, he's like, there are people with accounts that are still on there from classic WoW, and for some reason when they rolled everything out with like the stat squish and all that, accounts like that messed with everything in a way that they hadn't predicted. So stuff like that they had to fix on the back end, and like Tom said, the whole thing was a sorry fest.
But also, I mean, sure, I mean, I'm not that upset about it, I think, but then again, I haven't been in the game. If I was, maybe my unit would be different, but this is a game that's been around for 13 years. Imagine, and they have improved it with so many different systems. I mean, this game is a beast by now, and changes like this has to do something, right? It's because there's so many subsystems and whatever. I'm just pulling random words out of the air right now, but I mean, it has to do something to the game, right?
No, it's just copy and paste.
Copy and paste, sure. Google that crap, and copy and paste it. That's what I do. I'm a developer, so if it works for me, it should be working for others, right?
I mean,
I just got this feeling now, the whole you know, way like when they bring out the new expansion, like boom, level cap increased to 120 or whatever like that. Like that doesn't feel like a selling point anymore. That just feels like a waste of time now. That yes, obviously we have to get to a point where we can reach the end game again, but it almost feels like, do we need to even do that through leveling anymore? Is that even?
I forgot where I heard it. I think it might have been another podcast, but there was somebody that made like the argument where they were like, I play the game, and when I get that new expansion, like part of that leveling is ingrained into me. Like seeing that level go up is something that person like loved so much. Like just that ding when you get a new level, like it meant so much to them as like an old school RPG player. Like that was something that they really enjoyed. So I understand like the hesitation on it. Like there are people that really love that. Like that is part of the experience. That's part of like an RPG. But there are plenty of games that don't necessarily have a level system. You just kind of maybe level certain aspects of your character rather than leveling your character as a whole. Like, oh, we got to go 120 levels here, and then we have to level up spells and all this other stuff. Like, I don't know. It's a challenge.
I don't know how I feel about it, because on one hand, I don't really pay too much attention to the leveling when I level through the first time, because the first time around, I'm really interested in the storyline, and I'm reading all the quest text, and I'm taking my time to just familiarize with what's going on in this zone, in this expansion. So the first time around, I'm usually not paying too much attention to the level increasement. When I start to actually pay attention to it is when I'm going to level an alt. Now I've done 2 alts, now 10 alts, and now I'm getting tired of it. So I don't know what the solution is, because
what if it was like
I sort of feel like there has to be something, because you can't just be like, oh, now the new expansion dropped, now I can go into the new raid. I just need to get some gear here, and then that's it. Then I can raid. There needs to be something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea, and it kind of copies like the PvP leveling.
Copy paste from Google.
Yeah, no. So what if, let's say, for example, Battle for Azeroth launched, and maybe they did this one final stat squish that they were going to do, and they were going to introduce this new system. So say we were all level 100, and then they were like, okay, so with Battle for Azeroth, we're putting in this kind of prestige paragon system for Battle for Azeroth. It's this specific leveling progression tree for Battle for Azeroth, and maybe to access a certain raid endgame, it's like you need to be level 5 Battle for Azeroth paragon level. So that way you would have to go through the quests, level up a bit, and maybe they would have some kind of cosmetic rewards for certain levels to hit, and they could keep pushing that up further, and then when a new expansion comes, it's like, okay, so that's a separate, the Battle for Azeroth one's separate. Now we're going for Return of the Lich King 2. This is another tree, and then you just switch onto that one.
So sort of like what they're doing with professions right now.
Yeah, I guess something like that. That it's just kind of a separate entity, and that way you don't have to keep messing with the kind of leveling up and leveling up and leveling up, and you just like, you're just focusing on this one thing, that then they can tailor that to the specific expansion. Almost, we had the artifacts. We were kind of on a paragon system there, that we were increasing our stats.
I guess the Azerite gear works the same way with the network.
Yeah, I guess.
Leveling that up, so.
I guess it does.
Or what if they just, instead of having like a traditional level, like people focus so much on item level anyway. Why not just kind of make the item level your bar? And just kind of go off that. Like that's how you're gaining power. For the most part, like once you hit max level, that's what you look at anyway. You're no longer looking at your level, you're looking at your gear level and your gear score and all that. So what if they just kind of did away with regular leveling, and you were just kind of focused on your gear level in the first place?
But there's one flaw in that system, and that is when they create trinkets, like the warrior trinket from, I can't remember which raid. It's one of the earlier raids in Legion, and that trinket was so strong for warriors that that's the trinket that they used all the way to the end, even though it was like 50 item levels low or whatever.
No, we'll just remove
it-
warriors. We'll just remove warriors then.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fixed.
Solved.
Not the item, just the whole
I mean,
class.
that's the only issue with that system, is that if situation like that happen, then you can't really do it that way.
How about they do what everybody wants and they just base it off battle pet level? Your battle pet level will determine what raid you can get into.
And they could release this mobile app that you could kind of go around the world and you could catch additional battle pets.
Yeah.
This is a great idea.
You could level in World of Warcraft without even going into World of Warcraft.
Michael, grab a pen and write this idea down because I feel like we're on.
It's a winner.
It's a winner.
So yeah, they're gonna work to iron out the kinks with what came with the patch, and obviously this week the I want to say Heart of Thorns, is it? The kind of pre-expansion event goes live with the story leading up to Battle for Azeroth.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was weird because I went into the patch and I was like, there's nothing for me here right now except for me to reallocate talents because some of them are changed or my artifact weapon doesn't have its ability anymore. So I was just
This
like,
feels like a big old 7.2.
yeah, just the biggest patch ever, but with absolutely nothing for me.
Oh, I tried war mode. I did try war mode. Did you try it?
I turned it on, but I had no reason to go anywhere, so I didn't
He
go
turned it
anywhere.
on, and then he was like, I'm not leaving the gates of Stormwind.
Well, I had no reason to right now. There's no quest going on, so
What a
I'm not just gonna. I'm not a moonkin. I'm not just gonna go. I'm not just gonna go running around just to experience it. Like, I want to experience it as I'm questing. Like, that's the whole point of it for me. If I wanted to do world PvP in the first place, I would have just gone out to those zones. I want to see what it's like while I'm questing, and I don't have any quests to do. So.
That's boring. Okay.
Oh wow, yucking my yum.
So I turned it on, and when I went out into the world, like you're supposed to, I didn't just, teased. I went out there and started doing some world quests, getting that 10% bonus. All was well, and occasionally you saw a couple of hordes, and it looked like there was this sort of weird truce, like, oh yeah, we're all getting 10% more resources, and we're not fighting. But sometimes people would engage. People would start engaging with you, and you'd have like this little skirmish, and then that whole 10% bonus didn't really seem worth it because you were spending maybe 20 minutes fighting out with people. But yeah, it's quite hilarious when you are maybe partied up with somebody and some hordes come across you and they think you're on your own, and then you're like, hey, I'm being attacked, and then this little mini battle starts. So I feel like it, like Michael said, it's not really where it wants to be with Legion right now because it's just PvP flag. But once Battle for Azeroth hits, we're gonna have these specific kind of zones with the like aerial drops and battling for these resources that are gonna be appearing in the zones as well. So that's gonna be interesting to see exactly how spicy that gets. But there's a bit of spice already happening out in the world, and I definitely enjoyed having it on and feeling that bit of danger, that kind of like, oh, I need to actually be a bit more alert when I'm out doing world quests because I could get jumped, I could get
jumped. I could walk around and get mugged.
I could get ganked by a group of horde, and yeah, that was kind of exciting. And
Are
wow.
you telling me it's going to be the return of rogues?
Oh, actually, yeah, because a lot of rogues, while they don't attack you, they just sap you. You're just walking along, you get sapped, and you're like, huh? They never attack, but they just sap you. And it's like, oh, this is so weird.
I always do that as well when I'm playing my rogue. And I'm out
That's
of the
creepy.
world.
That is,
Yeah, all of a sudden,
That's
that's
weird.
a horde. Sap him.
yeah.
Don't attack
I mean,
him. I can't take him. I don't know how to play rogue, but I can sap him and
I miss
make
stealth.
him scared.
I do miss stealth. Being on in contested areas, stealth was just the best. Just being able to hide and sneak away and not have to really engage. But yeah,
That's not a thing anymore?
I just bubble harp. I've bubble harped a couple of times this week, and I'm not ashamed to say that I've done that.
But no, I definitely think that my approach will be that I will have it turned off in the beginning until level a little bit through,
Yep.
gotten rid of all the worst hordes around, and then turn it on maybe. Oh wait, we're leveling in different zones, so there's no danger in having it on, is there?
Yeah, I think initially we're in 2 separate areas.
Yeah.
You never know.
Okay,
You never know.
Never know. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. So yeah. So you said that there will be like a new quest coming over the next few weeks with storyline that leads into BFA, right? Is that what's going on?
That's it. Starting this week.
I find it so interesting and amazing that we have not seen this on either, to my knowledge at least, haven't seen this on the beta and the BTR and stuff like that they actually managed to keep the storyline out of.
Unless it's just the one that they had in the unless it's the one they had in beta.
Was it in beta?
I don't know. We don't know. We don't know if they're just gonna release something completely new or if it's what was on the beta.
Well, because I guess we know sort of what's going to happen, right? I don't know if we can actually say it, but I mean,
we've all seen the cinematic, right? we
And-
know
and
where
we've
we're
all
leading
seen-
to.
we've seen it. We've seen it at BlizzCon, right? The bloody tree is going ablaze.
Yeah,
The whole tree is being set on fire. I've said it. But I mean, we don't know how it happens. And
No,
I guess that's
we
what
don't. Yeah.
No, and I haven't seen any like quest lines or anything.
I swear, I
popping up
just had the
everywhere.
cooking.
Forest fires.
I just had the cooking fire up. Okay, it wasn't me. I was just cooking.
It was Nomi. Everybody knows it.
He burnt more than the fish.
But no, so we know something is going to happen with all that. That's going to set everything in motion for between the book and where BFA starts.
Yeah.
So I find it amazing that that they've been able to keep it out. What actually is going to happen and things like that. I mean, there's been a lot of hinting and teasing and stuff like that, but we actually do not know.
Or maybe it's because we've done a good job of avoiding it. You haven't even been playing World of Warcraft, so you haven't been like browsing the website looking for everything, and I actively avoid that stuff anyway.
I mean, I follow loads of different like World of Warcraft people on my YouTube, and I actually do watch a fair amount of YouTube with videos with Warcraft players and stuff like that. And I still follow my guild Discord, and when something new hits the beta and the PGR, it will be in our Discord channel, and I haven't seen anything about it yet. So, I mean, it's just nice to see that there still are secrets around in World of Warcraft.
Okay, I've been avoiding a lot of YouTubers, to be honest, because I didn't know if they were doing it, so I feel bad, but I haven't watched like Taliesin and Evitel for a while because I didn't want spoilers. Bellular has been doing like who knows what, but some of his titles I don't know where they lead to, so I'm just like, I don't want to know. Go away, Bellular. I still follow you, but I'm not watching you right now. Unless it's fun or not videos about classes, I'm not gonna watch it.
Okay. But anyway, other things that we're getting leading into Battle of Azeroth is a few digital shorts called Warbringers. Oops. That's the right sound.
Not Warbingers.
No, not Warbingers.
As I was calling it.
Not
pre-show.
Harbingers either.
Not
That was
Harbingers.
that's so 2 years ago. So yeah, Warbringers, new digital shorts. I'm looking forward to this. These are always so amazing, and there's a teaser out now. If you haven't seen it, go to your local YouTube and check it out.
Your local YouTube. Available from all good local YouTubes. We'll also put a link in the show notes because
We will put a link in the show notes. They definitely look amazing. I'm looking forward to this. I love World of Warcraft stories, so give me more lore, please.
So is this covering Sylvanas, or is it just covering in general the events leading
I
up
think
to?
it from what I'm gathering, it's Sylvanas, Jaina, and was it Ashara?
Dang, all the World of Warcraft bays.
Oh, yeah.
And I almost feel like there might be an appearance from the Lich King in them as well.
Oh, you feel
Wait,
what?
hold on. Bolvar?
No.
No?
The original.
I feel like there's a
The
little
OG
bit of a,
one.
I get
Yeah,
confused
there's-
sometimes.
there might be a little flashback of Sylvanas getting transformed.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just going by the trailer, I haven't seen anything.
Better than the
so-
Warcraft 31. Where he just waves his sword, rise. And then she comes back up. Oh shit.
I'm dead, and I'm also alive.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to those.
There's lots of pre-expansion
stuff.
stuff happening as well.
Yeah.
Kind of outside the game as usual, and inside the game it will be good to see how that all ties in together. I still haven't started Before the Storm yet, but I'm
What
planning
is wrong
to...
with you? Oh my god, what am I hearing?
I've been too busy playing the game. Some people don't even log in.
You can put on an audiobook and listen to it while you're playing.
That's a really good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe
Stick
I'll-
around, I'm full of good ideas.
Michael's tip of the day.
Listen to the audiobook if you're too busy to read.
Oh, Michael, you went really blurry. Have you been drinking?
Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
Autofocus.
You drank coffee, yeah.
Oh, it did it
Michael
again.
is-
Did it again.
Michael is completely smashed.
Just the camera go.
That's
Why does it keep doing it?
amazing. For our audio listeners, stand by.
All right, Tom, take us home. You've got something you want to talk about.
Yes. Oh no, you're the Hearthstone guy now. You're the Hearthstone expert. What?
Yeah, but I mean, it's. I'll let you have some fun, just for a change.
Yeah. So as you know, we're getting a new expansion called the Boomsday Project, and this is the time leading up to expansion where every week we'll just get all these cards announced, and we're like, wow, that's amazing, that's incredible. I can't wait to spend 1,600 dust on this and then find out it's crap. No, but you know, this is exciting because new cards are being revealed, and this week quite a few cards were announced. But I'm going to take some ones from the Hearthstone chat with Peter Whalen, who I don't think he's a chicken anymore. I think he's
Good.
I think he's
They fixed
I
it.
think he's human again. And I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna leave the most exciting card to last. So there was a new, I believe, warrior. No, wait, is this warrior? Oh my god, I've totally messed up.
So prepared.
So prepared. Actually, this could be a. It's a weapon. It's a weapon. I'm actually not sure what class it is. I feel like it was a.
Hey, I'm
colorable-
getting a flashback here from last time we
Yeah,
did a
I hope-
huge Hearthstone
I hope
section.
Dusty from Dusty from
He doesn't even know where he's from.
where's he from? The Blizzard Umbrella. The Blizzard Umbrella. I hope he's not listening. You know what? I'll come back to that one. So there's a Druid legendary that got announced. 4 mana, 3 attack, 4 health, and it's called, I'm gonna totally butcher this name, Flabindinus Fluke.
What did you just say?
Say it again 10 times quickly after each other.
Flabindinus Fluke. Flabindulus Bindulus Fluke. Flabindulus Fluke. Flabindulus Fluke. I think that's it. Flabindulus Fluke. Is that Danish? I just spoke Danish.
It is Danish.
Flabindulus Fluke. So while this is in your hand, this is a 3/4 copy of the last minion you played. So that's kind of exciting. Like, it's a bit of like a faceless manipulator type dealio happening there. And I really want to work out what this weapon is for. So I'm just like not going to Google it at all. I'm going to stare at the card very closely, and I'm going to say
It might just be a weapon.
it might just be a weapon. I thought it was a warrior card. It is a warrior card. Okay,
Is it?
I should have just trusted my goddamn instincts instead of making a big mess.
In your defense, it doesn't directly say right here, so.
It doesn't say, and you know, live shows, there's lots of nerves. Anyway, it's a 5 mana weapon warrior. We have finally discovered that. It's called it's not called that. It's called Super Collider. It has 1 attack, 3 durability. So after you attack a minion, force it to attack one of its neighbors. That I was not sure what was going on in the background. So you can attack a minion on your opponent's side, and then that minion will attack a minion beside it. So that's kind of crazy. That's like, yeah, that's doing sort of strange things. But the legendary I wanted to tell you guys about this week was 4 mana, 4 attack, 5 health. It's Whiz Bang the Wonderful, and this is kind of a neutral legendary that anybody can get. And this states you start the game with one of Whiz Bang's wonderful decks. So you don't have to build a deck. You just put this card in, and your entire deck gets replaced. And from what I've been reading, you get it replaced with a deck recipe from the game, like one of the deck recipes, I believe. Or it's specific to
the class,
the Boomsday expansion, and this is going to be like a great card just to craft and then play to discover new cards that are being added to the expansion. So we usually get that one wacky crazy card that's like, oh yeah, gotta totally craft that because it's gonna do amazingly weird stuff. And this looks like it's that card. This looks like that card you're gonna be crafting first and then just playing to discover potential decks. And who knows if the decks that he gives you are any good, but maybe just
classic paladin.
that would be awful. But maybe you're just like, I want to test out some of the new cards in this expansion, and I just want to craft one legendary. You could do it with this, and see where it takes you. And I'm pretty excited for kind of players like you and Michael to maybe just to be able to do that. And I'm gonna definitely do it as well.
Yeah, it seems like a good card for those that don't want to put money into the game in order to like pre-purchase or get a whole bunch of packs, or somebody who may not have a lot of gold to get all those packs. So it seems like a good way for you to just kind of a beginner player to get in, craft it, and then you automatically have a deck that you could play with. You don't have to
for sure.
You don't have to worry about trying to build one. You don't have to worry about, oh, I need to have these cards. It's just, hey, let me just have fun with it and see what it gives me.
Yeah, for sure. And the one thing I'm really interested about this card is if they let pros play it in tournaments, because it just feels like a card that they might not, because it's just totally unpredictable that they don't know what deck they'll be pulling from.
Are there like specific cards that are not allowed to play in tournament play?
I don't really think we've been in that situation recently where we've had cards that have been banned. So this may be just one of those cards that gets automatically blacklisted,
or it
maybe
just
it doesn't.
or maybe it just doesn't do something that's viable at like a high level.
Oh no, I don't think it will. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think it will. But then at the same time, there was when Yogg-Saron got printed, everyone was like, no, this won't. This is too crazy to ever make it to tournaments. And lo and behold, Yogg-Saron was there doing crazy stuff, and then he had to get changed because people were having too much fun. So yeah,
How dare you have fun?
I don't think a pro is gonna take this card to a tournament and be like, yeah, I'm gonna just totally
In the finals,
have
this is
no
how I'm going to win.
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna win in style. Yeah, Pavel's just gonna pick this card every time, and he doesn't have to worry because RNG is always on his side. So yeah, maybe it won't be blacklisted because from the sheer perspective of maybe the pros wouldn't take this at all. Like it seems totally.
Or maybe they're using it specifically to spice up the meta so that all those people that are complaining about certain decks being used all the time, they're like, look, here you go, here's some spice, okay, a little bit something different. No more control mage or frost mage or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's their
it's definitely
exact
gonna do that,
thinking.
and you're not really gonna be able to know if someone's playing against this. It's like, okay, so it's a hand of fate, and it's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how that one plays out. And it's a gnome, whiz bang.
Of course it is.
It's a gnome, therefore
It's a good card.
that keeps
It's good. It's gnome, therefore it's good.
keeps a small portion of the player base happy. Small portion.
I see. See what you
There we
did
go.
there.
Eventually, you have to kind of force it out with Marty sometimes. Just,
Wait, what?
come on, Marty. So yeah, there's obviously going to be more card reveals. They've got a big schedule in place of card reveals over the next few weeks, but it's not long before this is gonna go live, so it's happening thick and fast. They're not dragging it out for weeks and weeks upon end. So I like that. I like just announce it, show us some cards, and then just get the thing out, because we don't want to be dragging this on for weeks. Just we've got other expansions to play now, so.
I remember that one time when they at BlizzCon said, "Oh, by the way, there's an expansion coming out next week."
That was the best.
That was so good.
It was an adventure, but still.
Oh, was it an adventure? Oh, but
Yeah.
still, it was
It's
like,
still
"Oh,
a big
here's
chunk of
something for you."
content.
Here's something for you next
It
week.
was yeah.
And we didn't see it coming. It was the first year, right? So everything was new back then.
I would love to see that for like something huge one day, like just like at BlizzCon. Oh, by the way, Diablo 4 will be released in
out
like
next
a
week.
week. Yeah.
It was out yesterday.
It came out yesterday, soft launch. We soft launched it yesterday.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
Just doing no marketing at all, and I don't think that's good business, but there we go.
I'm pretty sure that it would still sell really, really fast.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's only 5 copies.
Then that would not be.
That's bad business.
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
That game. So what are the whispers in the Hearthstone realm? Are people looking forward to all this? What's the initial reaction so far?
I've kind of haven't been getting too much consensus of any negative so far. I feel like there were changes in the Hearthstone realm.
Are you really saying there's no naysayers out there at the moment? There's nothing that people are complaining about?
I'll be honest, I've been more focused on the World of Warcraft community the past few weeks, and
It's more fun at the moment.
yeah, that's where you're gonna get your reactions right now. That's where the end of the world is in World of Warcraft. It had a good run. Battle for Azeroth is gonna be one of the worst expansions because of this pre-patch. That was one of the funny things I read this week. Yeah,
Oh man.
I think generally most Hearthstone players are always excited for a new expansion because it just changes stuff, and you can't be like not unhappy about that. Like, I don't think I've ever witnessed somebody being unhappy that there was an expansion coming.
Oh no, new stuff to do.
But I'm excited because they're introducing we mentioned it last week, like the new PvE modes, which is gonna be like puzzles and solving lethal and clearing the enemy's side of the board, maybe with just a certain combination of cards that you have to work out. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this, and just the way kind of gaming is right now, there seems to be something happening kind of every week, which is just taking us another week closer to Battle for Azeroth, and it's really awesome. I'm just like, every week I've got something to look forward to, whether it's Hearthstone, whether it's kind of in-game events in World of Warcraft right now, or stuff happening outside of Blizzard, which I'm not allowed to talk about. But yeah, I'm so like, why is it the summer? Because I want to be outside as well. But now I'm like, nope, close the curtains, block out that sun, and
I've been outside. It's hot. I'm tired of it.
it's hot, it's sticky, it's overrated.
Yeah.
It makes my skin itch.
That's the one thing I'm a little bit worried about, is that we've had the hottest summer ever in Denmark, I think, or at least one of the hottest ones ever. And I hope it stops soon. I hope it stops like mid-August, because if it won't, then it's going to be so annoying being out inside, playing World of Warcraft.
Go outside and play, Marty. Go outside.
Oh, yeah, that's not making it better though. It's also hot outside,
Get an air
No,
conditioner.
I guess.
Winter is coming. Winter is
Yeah,
coming.
good. Winter's coming. First world problems, I guess.
Yeah. Totally.
All right.
Is that it?
I think that's it. I think that's it.
All right. I'll hit this button and take us out of here.
Last orders! Last orders!
This is the point where I need to scroll down to see if someone has put something I need to remember, and there isn't. So stay around, because after the show we have the Freshly report, and if you have anything on your mind, then we want to know your thoughts about anything we talked about on this episode. Or if you have your own questions, feel free to contact us. And Tom, tell people how to do that.
You can email the show at thebluereclusepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at The Blue Recluse. And why not come on over to thebluerecluse.eu/Discord, where we usually hanging out, talking about Blizzard games. You can support the show over at patreon.com/The Blue Recluse. You can join us here live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central European Time on twitch.tv/The Blue Recluse. And thank you to some early subscribers from our recent affiliation. Very, very happy to have you on board. And you can find all that information, including our show notes for this episode and more, on our website, thebluerecluse.eu.
And .com.
And .com.
I paid the bill, so don't forget.
Yes.
All right, with those words, I think it's it's up to Frashley to take us out of here. So take it away, Frashley.
Welcome, peeps, to Digging Deep with Broaden. I'm your dwarf priest, and I will heal you while giving you the news. Re-recording from Ironforge, over in my home in the Mystic Ward. What a wild time it has been in World of Warcraft. WoW just launched in the US on November 7th, and the EU on December 6th. We got the Dungeons of Moradin, the Feast of Great Winter. We can finally hide our cloaks and helmets. Got the Gurubashi Arena event, where I keep dying. We've just gotten the meeting stones, so you can now summon other players without needing a warlock. Imagine if one day they added a looking for group feature. You wouldn't ever need to go to the instance to get in. Nah, that'd never work, and the players wouldn't like it. We also got Dire Maul, the bosses of Azurgos, and Lord Kazakh. We got epic quests for priests, hunters, and the PvP honor system has also been introduced. Warzone Gulch and Aldrak Valley opened yesterday in patch 1.5.0. I still have to delve into Aldrak Valley, but I played in the Warzone Gulch last night. In the map, you battle the opposing faction to capture a flag at your home base. I've always enjoyed capture the flag games, ever since Unreal Tournament 2004, so this was a fun event to play in. I kept dying a lot though, and was healing my teammates. I think you will enjoy it. Imagine if there's an add-on that told the opposing faction to kill all the healers. Nah, that never happened. Oh, and there's apparently a shortage of cloth. Report to the capital cities to help. Who knows what this could mean? Well, I'm off to go harvest cloth to turn in. Loving this game so far. It's been a lot of fun. I wonder what is in store. I've already been enjoying the patches. Thank you for tuning in to Digging Deep with Broaden. You can find the website at http://www.geocities.com/broaden370/dig/episode22.html. And you can email me at broaden370@gmail.com. Until next week, remember to keep digging in.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.